Alright, this is a very busy week. I got 4 fantasy football drafts. I don't know why I'm in 4 leagues this year. It's probably about 2 leagues too many. But I'm here to help you dominate your fantasy league this year. So just a couple of helpful hints for you, and you will be cashing in some serious checks. Because I'm sure you're playing for money, right? Even though that's technically illegal. But let's get down to it. Alright, number 1. Don't take a quarterback in the first round. There are a lot of good quarterbacks this year, and unless you're in a league with more than 12 teams in it, you're going to get one of them. So you don't feel like you have to get Tom Brady or Drew Brees or Mike Vick in the first round. Guys like Kyle Orton, Matthew Stafford, Sam Bradford, Kevin Kolb, even Eli Manning, they're probably going to be good enough for you to win with when you consider you're taking them maybe in round 6, 7, and 8. Stock up on running backs. Stock up on wide receivers. Don't feel like you have to get that quarterback early. There are a lot of them this year that I think are going to be awfully productive. It's turning into a passing league. You got a lot of teams that like to throw the football, and therefore I would not reach too much to take a quarterback in round number 1. All right, number 2. You're not going to lose your league in week number 1, so don't adjust your drafting philosophy. Don't adjust where you would take guys that might have minor nicks or minor little off-the-field issues. For example, Chris Johnson. You don't know if he's going to play in week 1 or not because he's still holding out for the Titans. But do you really think Chris Johnson is going to sit out an entire 17-week season? So he misses 1 game. Big deal. If you're drafting 5th and Chris Johnson's still on the board, you should take him. If you miss him for 1 week, big deal. You're still getting one of the 3 or 4 best players in the draft, and he's going to be in fine shape. Same with Arian Foster. Maybe he doesn't play week 1, but if you still think he's one of the 3 or 4 best running backs, you take him. Same thing with Peyton Manning. Maybe he's not ready for week 1, but if 2nd or 3rd round rolls around, Peyton Manning's still on the board, don't let his neck injury scare you off him if you think he's going to be a very productive player. So we're talking about guys like Arian Foster, Chris Johnson, Frank Gore, Darren McFadden, Peyton Manning, all have some issues that if they were 100% ready, you wouldn't hesitate to draft them. I'm telling you, don't hesitate to draft them right now. All right, number 3. If you're in a league where you're not required to draft a tight end, but you can draft a tight end, don't overlook the tight ends as an option other than wide receivers. Guys like Zach Miller, Jimmy Graham, Vernon Davis, Jermichael Finley, Antonio Gates, they're probably going to turn out about as valuable, if not more so, than about 75% of the wide receivers. Some of these guys are big play guys, are going to be high touchdown guys, so don't overlook the tight ends just because you're not required to take them. Number 4, don't waste a pick on a backup quarterback, on a backup defense, on a backup kicker. In all likelihood, you're only missing these people for 1 week. Play the matchups with whatever's left in your free agent pool from a quarterback standpoint and from a defense standpoint. And from a kicker, how many points are you getting from your kicker each week? If you have to go without a kicker for 1 week, it's not the end of the world. You should be using those picks on wide receivers and running backs and maybe even tight ends, but don't draft a backup defense. You're probably going to be playing your defense 15 out of your 16 games. The 1 bye week, you go pick something up off the scrap heap. Same with the backup quarterback. If you've got Aaron Rodgers, why do you care who your backup is? You're not playing anybody ahead of him. If you've got Tom Brady or Mike Vick, are you really concerned about who your backup is? These are the guys you're going to be playing more times than not. Finally, don't draft anyone who's on the cover of Madden Football. Sorry, Peyton Hillis, that means you. You cannot be drafted this year. Follow all these guidelines and you are guaranteed to dominate your league. Just make sure you make your check payable to me or via PayPal. You can mail it to MattJackson4 at clearchannel.com. Hope you dominate your fantasy football league this year, and we'll continue to monitor the football season right here on Sports Talk 790 and Sports790.com.